beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see, I am back. Please forgive the mess. Roughly, we are currently sorting our spare bedroom, which means roughly basically donations, giving stuff away for free and that lot. So that's what we're currently doing. There's only one bedroom to do, which is the small bedroom, and this is the contents of from when I was a kid. My nieces and nephews, my sisters and stuff like that, so shit's getting done. Well, I'm going to say welcome back to me. As you guys can see, my hair is platinum blonde. It is pulled all the way back with hair gel at the moment, but she's long. Also, as you guys can see, this is the top of my hair. You won't see this in its natural curly state, so obviously it is hair wash day soon, so we're going to be fixing that. I also have piercings, as you guys can see, including my beloved industrial piercing. She's back. I did these myself. I did not go to a professional. I do most of my things myself anyway. I do my piercings myself. I did my hair by myself, which is now platinum blonde, and as you guys can see, it's separating around the edges, even though this side's are pulled back. The thing is, gender clinic wise, I went to my very first therapy appointment, and I'm happy to report that in my therapy session, because I told you guys I was going to go to a therapy session due to the fact roughly I didn't know why I was getting these feelings, these strong feelings of basically wanting to detransition. And the gender clinic did in one sense say to me roughly that the decision I made at the time was obviously the right decision, and it was the right decision. But unfortunately, my dysphoria did eventually kick back in 3 weeks before my appointment, and I started doubting myself roughly, and started becoming conscious of my body again. I did have facial hair, I did have body hair, I grew it all out, and as you guys can see, I am clean shaven again. I started updating my face again. I don't have any body hair. Roughly everything I tried, literally I told the gender clinic, I says I tried living as a man in society, seeing if I could make that work. It did not work, because all it did was remind me of when I was a teen growing up, and yeah, roughly I told them roughly that living back as a man reminded me of when I was a teenager, and I was very bullied for being extremely feminine, wearing long nails. Roughly even in college it was exactly the same, so nothing really changed that way. But thing is, this year I told him, I said roughly that I still felt the way that I did, which I still do. Roughly I still feel in here and up here the way I do. They told me, this says you are definitely trans roughly, and like they says some people roughly who are trans, like the real trans, tend to find roughly that after so long they get feelings of detransition due to too much going off in their life, and this says that's what's happened with you. This says it's not gender related to why you detransitioned. This says it is mental and psychological, which I thought it was anyway. But thing is, this says, what would you like? I said I'd like to go back on my hormones. I said I don't feel complete, which I don't feel myself, and I've always, my motto has always been be yourself. And so I will eventually be going back on my hormones, and we will eventually be going in for surgery. But the thing is, like we were talking about loads of things and that lot, and he was, because there was two people there, and they were asking me all kinds of questions and that art, literally, including stuff about down that region where I am not comfortable about talking, but I'll talk about it, because in one sense, why beat around the bush? And I told them that I will officially be changing my name by deed poll, which I will. My name will be Nikki Wright, but it will be Mrs. N-I-K-K-I, roughly, because, but then they were like, you do know that's a gender neutral name, roughly, and people will often get it confused. I says, I'm okay with that. I says, I am not going to force my opinions on people. I says, because it is wrong. I says, I know how I feel. I says, and the difference is, I says, I am that person that they are calling out to. I says, some people call me male, some people call me female. It is perfectly fine. And like I says, I'm not going to sit here, cry about it. I says, I'm going to be getting on with my bloody day. And they just kept smiling and stuff, so it was a good thing. So gender clinic wise, I have one more appointment, because they asked me to come back and to basically confirm to them, do I need therapy, do I not need therapy? And personally for me, when it is gender related, I do not think I need therapy. I thought the therapy was to talk about everything in your life that's going off, roughly, because I do have a lot going on. But no, it was just gender wise, but lucky enough, nothing's wrong in that way. So I will, like I told him, I says I will be keeping some of my boyish wardrobe that I helped create. I says, but I will be doing my transition a little bit differently this time, and I will be putting in a hell of a lot more effort, because I did tell him, I says, I do videos, I says, and I do recordings to kind of keep a diary of everything that has been going off with my transition. I says, but I slowly started to see the deterioration between me and my transition and my mental health. Too many things went off, and then literally that's where basically, in one sense, like I told him, I says, I snapped. I says, I'm one person. I says, I'm only human. I says, and too much kicked off, which it did. Being an at-home carer, still on one. Roughly, I've been dealing with a lot lately. My money was stopped for 2 months because of a advisor. I was supposed to have had a phone call appointment that was never received because they rang my old number, which was no longer valid. They stopped my money for 2 months, and now the appeal decision has come through, and let's just say they'll be paying it all back because there's too much evidence stacked up against it. I've been kicking up a fuss ever since 2024, and we're in 2025 now. Weight wise, I have been drinking a lot of fizzy pop due to my depression not being in the right place. I'm still 14 stone, but I've obviously put on a little bit of weight because the sugar is weighing in my stomach. But I will be kicking things back into touch, roughly, because like I said, my mental health's not been in the right place. We are decluttering the mind and stuff, and that literally that's what we're doing, roughly, and it's the best thing ever. I've currently stopped my walking because we've had a lot on, roughly, mental health wise. I'm doing what I can. I'm only one person. So yeah, it is also coming up to my birthday. I will be turning 35 years old. I'm also going out to dinner with 2 of my friends because we try to celebrate their birthdays and go out for a meal and some drinks, and it never worked out. So I have told them, because I don't get paid on the 16th, on my birthday, I get paid on the 16th of every month, that not to make any plans because we are going out. So there will be a lot more changes to come. I will be putting in a hell of a lot of effort when it comes to my transition. I want to go down to 12 stone, maybe 10 stone. I haven't decided. Sorry, I just got a notification on my watch. But the thing is, literally, I will be incorporating both masculine and feminine in my wardrobe, but more feminine, and that up because I do like the men's bomber jackets. I think they call them bomber jackets or varsity jackets. I don't know what they call them, but there's that. My hair length it's coming along now, but thing is, I will not be dyeing my roots for 4 to 5 months, because then that will give my hair enough time to grow out. Then I can bleach my roots, because it's the roots only I touch, and then I can tone out my hair. And then by the time that's done, roughly my hair should fit in a ponytail. I'll be able to gel it all back and get a platinum blonde, light blonde hairpiece. So good things to come, people, good things to come. But thing is, yeah, I do all my piercings myself. These are 18 gauge flat back earrings that I have, but if you look here, I need to buy, I'm buying it this week, is an 18 gauge flat back earring for this one, because I didn't have enough. But I will also be piercing my conch. But it's all positive at the moment, roughly. Things are finally coming back into place, and things that are screwing up are slowly fixing themselves, because I am constantly fighting, and I will continue to fight. Because for one, the stuff that's happening to me, roughly, by the government, by Job Centre and stuff, roughly, it's too much, roughly. And let's just say, roughly, carers who are unpaid, who help carers who are being paid, say thousands of money, we're being treated like dirt, but yet then they want our help. I cannot wait for my hair to be long again. I do need to trim my ends, just the very tips. But thing is, my hair fits into an entire ponytail at the top. Not that you would notice, because my hair is naturally curly, and yes, all my curls are intact. But anyway, I should be uploading videos pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for my next therapist appointment, and stay tuned for when I go back on my hormones, because like my therapist said, he said sometimes people think when they detransition that it's the hormones that are the problem. He says in your case, he says you know they want the problem. He says you know everything in your life. He says because it was a lot that kicked off. He says you decided, you know what, screw it, all of it's, I'm coming off all of it, buffer. He says, and he says it was the right choice. He says because you're doing everything to mentally clarify everything that you can do to fix in your life. And I've had the thumbs up, roughly, to basically go in for surgery again, roughly, and that lot. And I've got a feeling, roughly, because I know you have to have 2 signatures to go in for surgery. I think those 2 therapists will end up being that. So I will end up seeing Laura again, roughly. So I don't know how it's going to work, because I've already lost a lot of my breasts. Obviously they will end up growing back again, because they're a lot more flatter, as you can see, so they'll end up growing again. I will continue to lose weight my way, not through the jab. I will also be dyeing my eyebrows medium blonde, hopefully, just to break up the contrast and bring some warmth to my face. With some of the back pay that will be coming, I will be getting myself some acrylic nails done. I'll be going to the nail salon that my sister goes to, and that'll because they will be my birthday nails. So I am looking forward to that. So that's one thing that will be coming out of it, hopefully, because it's coming to my birthday soon. And you know what, for the first time in ages, I want to look nice. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.